Good morning. My name is Mabon Gwynfor, member of the Senedd for Gwynfor. I'm my party's spokesperson on housing. I'm also a member of the Senedd Local Government and Housing Committee and chair of the cross-party group on housing. So it's pretty clear that housing is important to me. I'm so sorry that I can't be there with you this morning. I was really looking forward to meeting you all and giving a short presentation and discussing some of the issues facing tenants in Wales and the larger and the wider housing sector, but unfortunately, I've been called last minute down to the Senedd because of a very important vote on taxation and on the budget. Now, clearly, housing is not only of importance to you here, but to every person uh, around us in our family and in our society. It is one of the fundamental issues of our time. It is a crisis that we are living through now. The housing crisis, meaning that people can't afford to live in their own communities, they can't afford to rent, they can't afford to buy, and we're not seeing houses built to answer those needs. Uh, Sadly, too many people look on housing as an investment opportunity, and when they see houses, they see pound signs pop up in front of their eyes. That's completely the wrong way to look at housing. Housing is a right for all. Everybody should have a decent accommodation, a decent house to keep them dry, to keep them contented, and to have everything they need to live a fulfilling life with dignity. Now, when I say that, when I discuss housing, therefore, I don't just mean the bricks and mortar to do with the house itself. I mean everything around it, the community that that house sits within, and be that with health services, education services, public transport, and everything else that is required to live that life full of dignity. Currently, we're seeing that tenants are being shafted by landlords. There's no rent cap on rents, for instance, and I think we need to see a control of the rental sector. I've called for that numerous times. I've put debates forward in front of the Senedd. So far, they've failed, but we have continued and been persistent in discussing the issue with the government, and the government are now putting together a green paper. Thanks to our pressure, that's good to see. We will be feeding into that. I would appreciate your views. But also when it comes to social housing, yes, there is a rent cap on social housing, but I'm concerned that social housing as we knew it has changed and we've lost that democratic voice of the tenants. So we need to reform social housing and ensure that tenants have a right to a voice on the boards and a right to help dictate how that company is run, be it with improvements to the housing stock or the rate rise of rents and other important issues to do with housing and the tenants living in those houses. So when I discuss social housing in the future, I'd like us to relook at that and look at municipal housing. So that we look at not just housing associations, but county council owned properties and also the cooperatively owned housing organisations as well. A number of issues facing the sector. As I said, we need to look at it again. We need to make sure that tenants have a voice that is respected and listened to, and that houses are part of a wider thriving community rather than a standalone unit which is there to make profit for others. So were I with you this morning, I would have elaborated at length about these issues, about some of the visions that I have for housing in Wales, what we need to see to reform planning, to ensure land availability and to give proper rights to people living in houses. But sadly, as I say, I'm not there. However, I'm really keen to hear your views. I'm really keen to understand the issues facing you. So please get in touch with me. I'm sure people in your company today will be able to share my details. I'm happy for them to do so, so that I can get to hear the issues that you are facing and what's impacting on your daily lives as tenants and as people working in the housing sector. So thank you. I hope you have an enjoyable and a worthwhile session and conference. Good luck with it. Keep in touch, and thanks for your time.